The Rob and Kale Podcast. Rob Sanders.
Some would be entertained by it. Some would be horrified by
Kale Carolina Jackpot Hall.
All would be interested in it.
The Rob and Kale Podcast.
Let's go.
I'm not ashamed no more.
Rob Sanders, thanks for joining us this evening. As we roll along here, my buddy is back with me tonight. He is the king of Gamecock YouTubers, the best damn Gamecock YouTuber on the planet, Mr. Carolina Jackpot, Kale Hall. Kale, what's up, buddy?
What is going on, Rob? How you doing?
Welcome to...
Well, man, I'm making sure that I turn my damn soundboard off here because this thing's being silly this evening. But other than that, Jack, I'm watching some of these tournament games, and Vanderbilt, somebody forgot to tell them that they suck. They're taking Arkansas to overtime here.
Well, Arkansas sucks too. I actually have Vanderbilt on the money line and to cover the number in this game, and I was really fucking mad a while ago because they let a 14-point lead evaporate at halftime. How the hell do you do that? But anyway, they came back and they tied it up, and now we're sitting here in overtime, which I don't like. I mean, I would rather have them just won it in regulation or whatever, because I don't like when you go to overtime, and then if you're covering the spread, you might not be covering it anymore after overtime.
I think the Gamecocks have more SEC wins this year than Vanderbilt has wins overall.
They've got more SEC wins than Vanderbilt and Arkansas combined. But I'm not going to get talking too loud.
I meant like total wins. I think South Carolina's got, 10 SEC wins? Vanderbilt's got 9 total wins. Look at Jerry Stackhouse.
Look at the 2 Vol fans back there behind him up there. Whose nuts are they sucking tonight? They're not playing. Go home.
So if you went to an SEC tournament game, you wouldn't go and wear your Gamecock gear and watch some other games?
No, I wouldn't. If my team wasn't playing, I'd reserve those seats for whoever's the fans. I mean, this is home team playing tonight, right? Vandy is the home team.
I guess so. I don't know. It's fun watching these games where these guys are going out there and they're playing. Neither one of these teams are going to make the tournament, so this is possibly could be their last game of the year. And they're that's why they're playing like their hair's on fire.
I don't like the Gamecocks have to play either one of them tomorrow, really, because, they're fresh. And, we're supposed to be fresh, but I don't know. To me, someone who's played a game already, to me, it seems like they got a little bit of a leg up on you. Maybe that's just me. They're juiced up, already got some momentum, so we'll see.
By the way, at about 9:30 tonight, Clemson will start their ACC tournament play, where they will open up against Boston College, who beat the snot out of Miami. Miami was in the Final Four like a couple of years ago, and now they're the shits.
They were in the Final Four last year.
That's
what
right.
What the hell happened to them? They're shitty.
They're really shitty.
I need a drink from Sonic, please.
There's one in there for you on the stove. Anyway, I don't know what happened to Miami. They've gone to shits. So
we've been drinking alone.
So let's invite people to join the Cowboys Bracket Challenge. I know Jackpot said he was going to put out a video on that. It's really simple. I'm going to put the link over here in the comments section. Pretty simple. You send Jackpot $20, then join the contest. Brackets will go live on Sunday. Apparently, Jackpot's upset about the game over here. We won't.
I hate Arkansas. They don't add anything to shit. The Gamecocks suck at most sports, but people do tend to get interested and they get invested whenever you see a Gamecock video. Anybody of these random YouTubers who does college football and stuff, they put out a Gamecock video. What Spencer Rattler's pro day. What's Lenore Sellers is the future South Carolina. Gets tons and tons of views. People are just interested in it for some of them. Nobody gives a fuck about Arkansas. Nobody gives fuck all about them. They're lost. They're like Mississippi State. They just suck and they're lost.
I mean, that's a fair assessment. They haven't really been shit since the Run DMC days when they got like 500 yards on the ground against South Carolina in that one game. And, when Nolan Richardson was their coach in basketball, and they beat the holy hell out of people. So people cared then. But now,
what's that? Well, that's been back in the what's that? That was back. That's been years ago.
it's like
Like
30
when I was
years.
in high school.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's like they haven't been relevant in a long time.
No.
About anything. I mean, think about it. Their baseball team is pretty good.
Well, Sam Pittman and his big juicy porkers thought you thought he had him coming back a few years ago, but no, not really. I think he's been able to recruit real well and just I think made some bad coaching hires. God damn it, Vanderbilt! This Vanderbilt is the fucking they just gave this fucking game away. Fuck, gave it away. It's like he was giving it to a homeless person. Fucking shit.
Jackpot, you
Damn it! They're not even gonna cover. God damn it! Why did this thing have to go to overtime? They could have just fucking lost it in regulation, and I would have still won that. You stupid motherfuckers.
well,
Anyway,
I mean, to quote a gentleman named Mr. C. Hall,
get
when
up here or get off of me.
when Florida State did the same thing to him in football one year, I'm not betting on these motherfuckers ever again. You should feel that way about Vanderbilt, sir.
Fucking assholes. Well, I mean, I thought it was over a while ago, but somehow they found the Vandy magic and they sprinkled a little bit of that,
What was the
little
spread on
this,
that
and a little
game?
of that. So we'll
What's the
see.
spread? What's the
6.
spread? Well, I mean, if they cover the spread, you'll be fine, right?
Yeah, there you go. Damn it! So these overtimes, these college basketball, these overtimes go by quick.
They do, yeah.
They go by real quick till we get to the, get inside a minute, and then they start to get a little bit. It's the damn ball back from him. Trap him. Anyway.
So Arkansas is on a 10-3 run in overtime to just kill Jackpot's hopes here. Let's read what Schultz says. Schultz says Jackpot told me
I'm sure it's riveting.
that I did the McDonald's thing at Tennessee 3 years after the fact, despite the fact that it was actually 2 years. 2022 is 2 years from 2020, not 3. Get it right, Jackpot. Who the hell is Schultz?
I don't know. Apparently, he's Oh. What? Oh, this is some guy that he made some kind of comment about. I don't know, something on the Uncle Lou thing last night. Something about the Tennessee or whatever. He called in to Uncle Lou's thing, and maybe he was the one that made some kind of joke, and Lou wasn't very impressed. I mean, because it was, because that's been forever ago, and I'm like, this, you're savage, with the shit from 3 years ago or what? I don't remember what I said. I don't know. I think that's who that is. I'm not. I can't be sure though.
No clue who he is, but apparently he's trying to call you out on your math.
But thank you for pointing out my mistake. I've never claimed to be perfect.
Yeah. Anyway, so there's that.
He
Anyway,
says
join
it to
the
me. Okay, well, I'm sorry. I wasn't the only one laughing at you. Just so you know.
no one was laughing with you. They were definitely laughing at you. Let's make sure that we understand that. By the way, just to put it out there, the bracket challenge, the link is right there. I'm sure more people will be joining.
We got a lot of procrastinators around here. They'll get it at the last minute, especially when you send out that big mass email. They're like, God, I wish I could get this guy to stop emailing me. Let's give him his $20 so he'll shut up. No, but it's real easy. Everybody fills out a bracket anyway. But I think this is actually probably more fun to me than the bowl challenge. Just to be honest with you, so those are really, really. Shut up. They're really unpredictable. especially now.
Is that a new dog?
I mean, you have to make decisions on some of them like 3.5 weeks out, and you may not know who's even playing in the damn things.
Bowl challenge is just luck. Is that another dog there, Jackpot? Who's the black dog? I've never met.
We've got the black dog is this one.
Yeah.
Come here, damn it, you. We've had. She's been here for a while.
What's his name?
Willie.
Okay, so you got Willie and Wheezy. Okay.
Yeah, it's a girl dog. It's a Shih Tzu. I've had her. She's been here since. Well, how long have you been here? June. You've been here since June. You were making fun of me. You said I had a girly dog or something like that.
No, that was with the other dog. I didn't realize you had two.
No, it was her. Look, now she's all beast. She's 11 pounds of solid muscle. By God.
You said she's a Shih Tzu. That's a real name for the dog.
Shih Tzu.
A Shih Tzu. Okay.
Yeah, and then we got this little shit. Hey, Rob. Hey.
The wife says, quote, from the comment section over here, the live comment section in my house. She says, quote, they are mean fuckers.
Who?
That's what she says, the Shih Tzu or Shih Tzu. Or
no, Shih Tzu. No, they're not.
I'm just telling you.
Like, I guess they would be if you kicked them across the room.
Fucking degrees over here, with like all lined up and shit. She knows things, man. She says they're mean. They're mean.
You don't know fuck all about that.
All right, Kale says you don't know fuck all about that.
No, they're not mean. I'm just kidding. I'm not being disrespectful. But the pugs are. I mean, you have no idea how much you'll just love those little shits.
I love my dog. He's dumber than a bag of rocks, though. By the way, Vanderbilt now down by 3, and hopefully Jack. Trap! Oh, trap! Oh no, you gotta go with it.
They don't go down without a fight, man. I mean,
let's give it up for the smart kids. Come on, smart kids. At least cover the spread and give Jackpot some crack money. Come on. Anyway,
well, apparently smart kids don't know what. I don't know. These smart kids don't know it. Damn it. All right. So 18 seconds left. Now they should go down there and score easily. We should cover this number. What is it in college basketball anymore, Rob? Do they just not just throw up just trash? Just throw up fucking trash. Let him go. Just let it go. There we go. Jackpot. Pay Jackpot. Pay Jackpot.
Oh, no. He may lay it up. If he lays it up and fucks you, I'm going to laugh to the end of time.
No, he didn't. No, he just ran around with it.
He just ran around.
I can't believe that. They just gave that game away. That was awful. Just no fucking guts in the second half. No guts. You don't get a team down by that much at halftime. The only team I've ever seen have somebody down by that much at halftime and then come out and look like teetotal shit the second half was the Gamecocks versus Georgia last year in football.
Jerry says that one. Odds that Stackhouse is fired tonight. Well, I don't know. We shall see. I wanted to bring up something, Jackpot. I sent it to you earlier. And it's Nick Saban and Congress. If you've seen this, then just bear with me. But this is kind of worth it here. It's interesting. Let's see if I can scroll down and find it. I had it a minute ago. Okay, so here is
all the things that I believed in for all these years, 50 years of coaching, no longer exist in college athletics. So it's always about developing players. It was always about helping people be more successful in life. My wife even said to me, we'd have all the recruits over on Sunday with their parents for breakfast, and she would always meet with the mothers and talk about how she was going to help and impact their sons and how they would be well taken care of. And she came to me, like right before I retired and said, why are we doing this? And I said, what do you mean? She said, all they care about is how much you're going to pay them. They don't care about how you're going to develop them, which is all what we've always done. So why are we doing this? All the things that I believed in.
Why are we listening to two Nick Sabans?
Sorry about that. Anyway,
well, it was two Nick Sabans. One of them gets on my nerves enough.
Well, look, here's my thing on that, though. In some ways, what he's saying is correct. But in other ways, it's like, do you really think that there weren't Alabama boosters that were giving your guys. I mean, there was money that was out there before. So now it sounds
but he had more control over that.
right. That's the whole thing. Now he can't, if there's a young man that's down to him in Tennessee, and Tennessee's like, look, you come to us, we'll give you an extra $400,000, which is happening in NIL money. He can't compete with that. He just can't. And it's like he's talking out of both sides of his mouth there. You know what I mean?
Well, do you ever think that maybe, just maybe, this is a weird take on this, maybe he retired so he can get out there and say all these things?
Well, I mean, he's 70 something years old. He had to retire eventually, and I think
I think he was planning on it. I think he was probably planning on it soon anyway, because he bought that, what was it, a $10 million house on the Florida coast. I mean,
right.
bro, he didn't buy it to store his baseball card collection in.
Right.
I mean, he bought that to reside in, and I think he had plans on it maybe the next 5 years or something, and then I guess just got sick of it.
It's just it. I think he tarnished his legend by going to Congress and bitching, because that's what he did. He went up there and well, I didn't get to be, the head fisherman anymore, and I had to actually compete with other schools because now, it's on top of things where I can, other schools can go and compete for my guys, and I don't get to. And this happens a lot in the SEC.
Oh well, I mean, knowing what his attitude is towards all of it, don't you agree that Dabo would say those same exact things if he were given the opportunity?
I do, but
but he kind of has, and to this point, I mean, it hasn't really hurt him all that much. He's kind of gotten away with it because he kind of has that little sense of, he's won him a couple national championships up there, so they think he's God with an orange Walmart sweater on.
Look, let me make sure that I'm clear on this. I think Dabo Sweeney, when he says this stuff, he's wrong too. But
I mean, if a shitty coach, I don't know, like Mike Loxley goes out and say it, he'd be crucified.
I just think that it's a different landscape now.
Well, I think, to be honest with you, I think a lot of them are probably sick of it. They probably are a lot of people who sleep with very nervous stomachs at night. But they ain't gonna. They're not gonna quit. They're not gonna, really show their hand on it too much because they like that payday too much. Because just like these players' paydays have increased, their paydays have increased too.
Yeah, look. Here's the thing, though. You look back at that, the Alabama team that Clemson played in the 2018 national championship game. The quarterback room was Tua Tagovailoa, Mac Jones, and Hurts. So you had all three of these quarterbacks stacked on top of each other. And there's so much oversigning in SEC play, or not SEC. I mean, just a lot. And it's not just them. I mean, there's oversigning everywhere. But it's like, yeah, you only have 25 scholarships, but they'll sign 35 players. They'll bring them in. And then some of these guys don't get to see the field. They could be talented, and they just never get to see the field. And it ends up taking them away, and it really hits the depth on a lot of programs. It really does. But
well, you're right. And like with the transfer portal, I mean, I think it is a good thing that these guys can transfer somewhere else. Especially like, the 5-star who got somewhere and he ended up sitting on the bench for a couple of years. Well, I mean, his career's burning away. So why not allow them to transfer somewhere where they can contribute, where they can make some money? But to me, I'm still in the camp. That's where it needs to stop. You get that one time, and then after that, you have to sit out a damn year. And then that'll put an end to it, because if they make you sit out a damn year, and I mean, I don't know how that would work. I mean, you might be able to earn like a reduced NIL or something somewhere if you transfer, but you couldn't play. They ain't going to pay you a whole lot if you
Well,
transfer to their school and you're having to sit a
not,
year because you done transferred once.
why not do it? Mr. Outlaw says, I don't understand why they can't just make a rule, get all the money you can, but if you're on scholarship, you're stuck for 4 years. Look, I get that, but I also think that what you could do if they really wanted to, but they don't want to deal with the liability end of it, is look, you're going to sign a contract with us just like they do in the NFL. We're going to be responsible for your medical, etc. You're going to make X, and I know that sounds like it's silly, but that kind of has to be the way it can go, because as of right now, you could look at South Carolina from last year with all the players that left them. Clemson lost. I mean, we can go across the board with teams that lose all these players. It's tough to develop a team that's consistent. The idea of having that is silly. It's just not going to happen anymore. So it's just something we're going to have to embrace as college football fans now. But Nick Saban getting out and going to whine at Congress, because that's what he did. He didn't have to do that. He could sit there and literally talk X's and O's on ESPN, get that big payday from them. He's made more money than he'll ever spend. And he didn't have to go to Congress and say all that stuff. It just looked like he was just stupid.
Here's a funny little comment. This is ironic. Fireball says he couldn't cheat anymore. He didn't have the upper hand. That's why he retired. Look how good he was at the Dolphins when he didn't have superb players and knew NEW. He would eventually be that in college.
I think
Jesus Christ.
I got nothing for you on that.
Jesus Christ! I mean, I was listening to Twitter Space a while ago with some of our buddies. Chris from Georgia was in there, and some Vol fans. I mean, it was just absolute comedy hour, absolute comedy hour. Talking about Nick Saban and Nick Saban cheating, and did you realize? I mean, that's the most penalized program in the NCAA. Tennessee is.
Yeah, it's funny when
But
we talk about that, but it's
Alabama
it's
cheat like a motherfucker, though.
so funny when they get together. Yeah, it's hilarious when they get together and they want to rip on, Saban cheated. Here's what Saban did. He did the same. He may have done the same thing that you did, but
I
know that he beat you.
He wasn't stupid enough to get caught. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were talking about Jeremy Pruitt, blaming Jeremy Pruitt's cheating on Nick Saban. Well, where do you think he learned it from? Okay, well, what? Two wrongs don't make a right then.
In the eyes of the NCAA, Alabama ran a clean program. Tennessee didn't. Sorry. Don't get mad at me. Send your hate tweets to @NCAA, because that's what they said. Not what I said. It's what they said. So I just thought I just expected more out of Saban, I guess. I don't know. It's going to be interesting in the fall when he's on the set for College Game Day, and what the hell are they going to do with Corso? That's what I'm wondering, because Corso can barely keep up. So
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I hate to say, I don't think that man might not be around much longer. He looks bad. Schultz. Now he does say something here I agree with. Says Dabo was cheating all those years. You can't tell me they just randomly happened to drop off the first year. It became a thing. That is true. They were funneling that money from New Spring for all those years. Now, I mean,
look at
now that cheating's legal, they're not getting those players.
Look at Jackpot wearing a Penn State hat, but acting like a Tennessee fan.
What?
Because
I mean, what? I just stated the fact.
You're wearing a Penn State. First of all, I'll tell you what. Here's what we'll do. Here's what we'll do right now. All right. I will quit this show right now if you can show me one shred of any evidence that New Spring Church gave Clemson money illegally. I will do it. I will quit right now.
I don't, but there's been plenty of smoke.
You know why? Because you don't have it. The only source you have is
I have smoke.
Here's your
There's been
source.
plenty of smoke.
I'll look it up. Here's your source. Gamecock bumblefuck, Gamecock douchebag, Gamecock asshole.
No, but look, all these people have admitted they were getting paid under the table for years. And we're talking about Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal. We're talking about signing rookie contracts in the NBA, how they were making more money at Auburn and LSU, respectively. And they came out and admitted this. So these people are admitting this stuff. So you really think that didn't happen? There was too much smoke for it not to be true.
I'm saying that if you have anything that has New Spring Church giving them money, please let me know. I would love to see it. I know that you guys have to live with that, because otherwise, it's basically saying that a church is giving a school money, which means that Jesus hates you. That's kind of the way that it comes down with that. Whatever it is you have to say to, put some salve on the wounds of the fact that you have one of the most disgusting football programs in the history of the SEC.
That's a little bit silly. Okay, but
it's true. No one wanted you in the conference. The Conrad.
Well, then why'd they let them in then?
Because they were the fifth choice.
Well, they were fifth choice. Well, then somebody wanted them in.
They needed to fill a spot. They couldn't just bring one team in. They needed another. They had to. Why not
just operate it with 13 teams or whatever?
Because scheduling would be stupid. You know that as well as I do. You have to
so they just take a team they don't want, that can't compete.
They wanted Florida State, Jackpot. You know that as well as I do. And Bobby Bowden was like, I don't want to deal with that shit. That's the truth.
Well, I wouldn't want to coach. I wouldn't want a program with an attitude like that either. We don't want to be the best. We want to take the cheap, easy way out.
I didn't do that. That's what he did. Mr. Outlaw says, I wonder how NIL works with military colleges. See, that's the thing too. I think people don't understand the NIL stuff. Like, if you're at a military college and let's say that you're a quarterback there or whatever, and you want to go run a camp, a little weekend camp or whatever, you could do that. You do that in your hometown when you go home for the summer or what have you. You can do that and use your name and have these kids come out. You run the camp. You charge your parents $50. You get 20 kids. You got $1,000. Before, you couldn't do that. It's things like that. That's what NIL is supposed to be.
Yeah, it is. That's what it's supposed to be. It's not, something called Spire, collecting a bunch of money and distributing it out randomly, or something called Gamecock Trust or whatever the fuck.
It's not,
because that's what I thought it was going to be when this first started up. I was like, oh damn! I was like, you're going to see YouTube channels popping up everywhere with all these college athletes. Not so much. There's been a few, but they really not all that much. Some of them will do it. They'll throw one video up there, get 10,000 views, and they'll gain themselves a couple thousand subscribers, and then never put anything up again. Juice Wells has a channel. It has like one video on it with like 100,000 views. No shit.
That's because he knows there's work to it, and he doesn't do work. Let's invite Chris into the show. Chris, welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up, guys? I missed the first part of the show. I take it you guys were discussing Nick Saban crying at Congress.
Mm-hmm. We did.
Man, that's maybe like O.J. Simpson talking at a battered women's shelter. Like, you the last person that needs to be up there talking. But what I don't get is everybody says it shouldn't be pay for play. These kids should have to earn it. So if a kid goes out and throws 50 touchdowns and then he starts getting paid better money, is that not paying him for his athletic performance more than his marketability? Or
I just think that there are people that look at like Quinn Ewers, who went to Ohio State, sat on the bench, and got, north of $1 million to sit on the bench. Didn't see a regular season snap.
Well,
and then said, "Screw you, I'm heading to Texas." I think that's what people are. This sucks. We got to figure this out.
His contract, that contract he got $1 million for, wasn't even through Ohio State. It was through Topps trading cards. And if Topps wants to, it's just like a music deal. If I think Jackpot is the best singer in the world, and I give him $1 million music deal because I think his CDs are going to fly off the shelf, and then none of them fly off the shelf, I have to eat that. Now, Topps made a bunch of Ohio State trading cards with Quinn Ewers' face on it that are worthless now. And that's the money that Topps has to eat. And like I said with the Dr. Pepper deal, Dr. Pepper went and got DJU to be their spokesperson one year, and then he had a trash year, and they were like, maybe we should get somebody more proven next year. And the market corrected itself. They went and got Caleb Williams, which I'm not sure how much better than DJU he is as a spokesperson, but that's a discussion for another day. But my thing is it's Nick Saban, he talks like he wants every player to be worth zero. In his mind, every player should be worth $0.00 in NIL before they step on campus. If that's the case, then why, if player A is not worth more than player B to a particular school, why is he going after Juju or George McIntyre or Bryce Underwood over some 2-star from Tuscaloosa High that would go to Alabama for free? Why does he want those other guys?
I think that Saban's mentality is that you can be just this great athlete in high school, but your name, image, and likeness is going to get a hell of a boost when you come to Alabama or Clemson or South Carolina or whoever, and then you're put on national TV, and we're not just watching grainy high school videos of you. I think that's part of it. Your NIL definitely goes up when you put that Alabama A on. I think that's a valid point.
So then he's got an unfair advantage over other schools. That's his argument, is he wants more parity in football. Parity hasn't been in football since the day Nick Saban returned to college football.
That's bullshit. He does not want parity in football. He wants to.
Oh, I agree.
He wants to beat Tennessee 17 years in a row, whatever the hell it is he did. He wants to be
5-1 against Kirby. Like, that's my thing, is don't go up there and pretend woe is me. Oh, we're going to kill college sports. You got Greg Byrne up there talking about, well, you got our AD saying, hey man, if we got to pay these athletes as employees, we've got a plan in place to do that. We're ready to do that. Come to Tennessee. Meanwhile, you got Greg Byrne. If we have to pay them as employees, we're just going to have to shut the softball program down. We just ain't going to be able to do it. How's Alabama that fucking poor that they're not going to be able to fund a softball team if you have to give every player $50,000? Is that he's right? Look, he's either lying under oath or he's mismanaging money.
The non-revenue sports and women's sports are going to take an absolutely huge hit when it comes down to this, because it's going to come down to sort of like I'm trying to think of a good example, but if people don't come and draw money, they're not going to put more money into it. They're trying to set it up where it's almost like a business type model, where you got 80,000 people coming and spending $100 a ticket for, $80,000 or 800, whatever the hell the math is on that. You got all that money coming in addition to whatever money you can get from licensing and everything else. But, you go and watch, even like Clemson softball has their softball stadium, I think holds 1,000 people, and they're happy that they sell that out. And that's great. They're one of the better softball programs in the country. But you go somewhere else, and it's not like that. They don't have the following, and they don't have the money that's there. And you couldn't get, $50,000 a player. It's just not going to happen. It's not. That
happens in every league. The WNBA is subsidized heavily by the NBA. Like, let's not act like a college program having to do that. The thing that Greg Byrne is worried about is that $25 million that 3 years ago they spend on a smoothie bar and a music studio in the football facility now might have to go to pay non-revenue sports that aren't bringing you any money. And that terrifies a guy like him.
Right, because he won't have those things to. I agree with you on that. He won't be able to put those things in to bring the what he thinks are the money makers there.
My thing is,
Title IX says, for every male scholarship, you have to have a female scholarship. So, and that's not going away. And I think all athletic directors know that, and that's why you got to figure out the money on behind that end of it. So
it's just weird that the most vocal coaches that are anti-NIL and anti-collectives and all that stuff are the ones who were able to win before it ever came to pass. You don't hear Lane Kiffin's cool with it. Hell, even Ryan Day's cool with it. Tennessee's cool with it. Texas is cool with it. But the people who were able to win with $50K and a Hellcat, now they're the ones that Congress raising hell. They're the ones that are preaching NFL over NIL. And yeah, Kirby Smart's got that under his belt. That's an advantage he's got. Hey, we may not be able to pay you what these other schools can pay you, but you got a better chance of getting to the league, and that's fine. But when you got a lot of kids that know, hey, man, I'm hungry now. I need money now. My mama's car and my mama's house is about to get foreclosed on now. Does Kirby not care about that? Hey, man, you got to wait 3 years before you even get a chance to take care of your mama. Sorry. That's how we do it at University of Georgia.
I think that Kirby is going to be talking about Florida too, where they got rid of all their DEI folks that were down there at the college, and that's like the NAACP has told athletes, don't go to Florida schools. I think Kirby Smart may have that up his sleeve too, and that may be. I wonder
if Miami has to abide by that being a private school. If they can keep theirs, that would be an advantage for them.
I don't know. That's a very good question, but all the other schools, I mean, the NAACP came out and has told athletes try to avoid the Florida schools. I mean, that's for people that think that that's not a big deal. It is a big deal. You're telling black athletes don't go to Florida schools. Trust me.
But yeah. At the end of the day, we don't need, honestly, I think that one of the quickest ways to fix the issue is you need to license collectives. You need to keep it, collectives are basically marketing agencies. You need to license them. The only way you can start and run one is to be a registered sports agent or sports attorney with the NCAA. Because the thing is, the biggest problem I'm seeing with NIL is a kid like Jervon Dexter, who is signing 15% of his lifetime earnings over to some shady ass collective in Florida, and now he's trying to get out of it because that collective was started by some real estate agent or barber or his uncle or whatever. It's like, if we have to protect these kids, like they're not being protected, but they don't want to acknowledge collectives and to regulate collectives because then they have to admit that collectives are good, and they don't want to do that quite yet.
Well, you talk about protecting the players. The idea that, hey, this collective is going to take care of you, they'll take care of you until you decide, you know what, I'm going to transfer from Alabama to Tennessee. Then it's going to be like, screw you, I'm not helping you with anything.
And they'll have a new collective they could step into as long as their contract allows it. That's another thing, is if you sit there and regulate collectives, you could sit there and say, hey, the lowest deal, the shortest term deal you could do is 2 years. So you're keeping kids there longer than 1 year, and it's contract. It's not the NCAA violating antitrust rules. It's you can't get out of your contract and leave because you're signed to a collective at a certain school or connected to a certain program. But like I said, they don't want it. The moment they admit collectives are real and can be used for good, then they admit they're wrong, and none of them want to admit they're wrong yet.
I don't think collectives are all good anyway. I think they're all it's just the back end of what boosters and everything else. So,
I mean, you have some, like I said, like Tennessee's was started by sports agents. Everybody that said, every lawyer, every expert out there that's looked at Tennessee contracts have said, hey, these look like good sports contracts. But then you look at one written by Florida that was their collective was started by a real estate agent who played baseball at the University of Florida one time, and it's like, dude, this contract is a shitbird. Like, what is 50% of your lifetime earnings? Like, what are we doing here? And that's where you need to protect the kids from. But if you're a licensed sport agent and you could lose your bar license if you sit here and violate these kids' rights, then you got a lot more to lose, and you're not going to be out here trying to screw kids over.
Yeah. I guess so. I mean, I can see where you're coming from with that, but I think that I think collectives are shits, and I know that it's just stupid to me. Hey, come here, and we'll have a lawnmower endorsement for you, where you've probably never ridden a lawnmower like this, but you're gonna hawk $5,000 lawnmowers. Get on there and talk about them, and then we'll give you X amount of money. It's just bullshit. It's just stupid.
I mean, there's a 10-year-old on YouTube that is worth 9 figures because he opens toys all day. I mean, it's a crazy world. You're worth what people say you're worth.
I mean, I don't have a problem with that. I'm just saying, it's just silly how some of these kids are getting money for some of this stuff, and it's like, do they really use that shit? I mean, let's think about it. You know, it's a mess. It's a mess across.
Philip Mixon over in the comment section says everyone wants South Carolina in the conference. It's one of the easy wins on everyone's schedule. Yeah, that's fake news. Seems we kind of steamrolled quite a few teams there in basketball down the stretch, including your Texas A&M team in your place.
Hey, Jackpot, I haven't seen anywhere. Y'all got Lamont locked down yet? Is he locked down for the future, or is there still?
I heard they're working on something, but
you better get him locked down, man. I want to see y'all. I want some more competition.
They need to get it locked down soon, because I mean everybody's going to start having openings because these conference tournaments are going to wrap up, and some of these teams ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, I want to see who Louisville get.
On to UVA football fan 79. He says most commercials are like that. Actually, if you endorse something, there is a law that says that you have to use the product. There is laws about that. Look it up. I know that because I used to do that stuff. So, but yeah. Anyway,
Conrad
all right, Jen.
Has to take the blue chew.
That shit works, dude. Don't hate on it. But no, I appreciate you guys taking my call.
You're too young to be using that stuff,
dude. I'm 35 years old. I'm 35 years old. Get off me.
Well, you shouldn't need that.
You just never know.
I might.
Dude, the military, man, it's rough on you.
But do they have any that can just make it bigger? I mean, not harder. I mean,
you got to get that horny. You got to get that horny goat weed, bro, at the gas station. That's what works.
This is no shit. When I was like 22 or something like that, I actually, when was this? Is like 97 ish, around there. I actually ordered a dick pump from one of those magazines.
Wait, what? Hold on.
They're gonna age gate this video, bro.
Wait a minute.
That shit don't work.
All right, man. I'm gonna exit on that one.
Damn garbage.
I'll be listening to it.
Oh, wait a minute. Jackpot, did you just admit on the show that you bought a penis pump?
I did.
And it didn't work?
No, it didn't. I just wanted to see if it worked. I mean, I was all about it, but it
didn't.
I wasted like $20 on it. That was like in the back of those dirty magazines. When I could have, just ordered the rubber, the pocket.
How do we go?
I could have just ordered the pocket vagina, because they had those like too.
This show is now a shithole. Jesus Christ. All right. Schultz, welcome to the program. If you're calling about the penis pump, we're not going to talk about it.
God, no.
I don't know where it's at either, so I can't auction it off.
No. I was going to say, obviously that last caller says that because he's a Tennessee fan. I mean, the whole deal with the NIL thing, got caught going out to California and all that. Supreme Court ruling. I mean, obviously the guy's a Tennessee fan. I mean, obviously the guy says that because he's a Tennessee fan.
Well, hold on. I give Tennessee fans a lot of shit, but you know what? They went toe-to-toe with the NCAA and pushed their junk in. That's what they did, and they beat them in court. So they, the bullshit where they're trying to enforce something that they didn't fucking have, they went to court and they won. So props to the Tennessee folks for that.
Oh, yeah, now it's causing problems, obviously. Now it's causing problems.
Yeah. All right, anyway. What else you got for the show, brother?
Well, Rob, what you were saying earlier, So Xavier Thomas just randomly got all that money out of nowhere. So he just randomly got all that money out of nowhere?
I don't know where he got the money from, but I know it wasn't from Newspring.
I mean, the guy bought a nice house and 3 super nice cars. I mean, clearly he got that from somewhere. You
Okay.
can't tell me Clemson.
Xavier Thomas was with the program so long. I think he came to Clemson on the Trail of Tears.
So,
Like he
so
came
you're
in a
telling
wagon,
me, you're telling me
drawn by
Jadeveon
horses.
afford one of the richest apartments in Columbia, South Carolina, on his college scholarship?
Who was
Where
that?
Jadeveon Clowney. He lived in the apartments that were right across from the stadium when they were first built. They were $1.4 million a piece. He lived there. Where did he get that
His
money?
daddy probably rented it. What's his daddy's
His dad
name?
was in jail. Shut up. His dad was in jail. And when his
Well,
dad
they had maybe his
built
mom had a sugar daddy. What was his name? It's something stupid. What is it?
You need to go back to talking about the penis pump. You were making more sense then.
What was his dad?
His dad's name was
It's something crazy. What is it?
yeah, something crazy. It's like Davion Clowney's dad's name is
Somebody
I never
drop
knew
it
his
down in
dad's
the
name.
chat below if you remember.
no,
I don't
it's Jadavion. His father's name is really
like
funny.
Gumdrop or something.
No, it's dad name. It's something weird. You're right. And he bought him a smoke shop, and that's the truth. Chili Bean.
Chili Bean.
Clowney. Yeah, Chili Bean Clowney was in jail, but he managed to afford that $1.2 million apartment.
Maybe
Okay, well, that was probably students. That was students buying him an apartment.
He traded it for cigarettes and hand jobs in the prison shower. That's how he got the 1.2 million.
Well, that's different.
I mean, I might as well throw that out there over Jesus gave Clemson money. It makes just as much sense. Jesus screwed over the Gamecocks by funding Xavier Thomas, and Jadeveon Clowney's dad gave hand jobs in a prison shower to pay for his $1 million apartment.
Philip Mixon says he's not impressed with the Gamecocks' 2-point victory. A 2-point victory over a terrible basketball team. Not really steamrolling. A&M baseball 17-0. You ever notice how everybody's team turns into the shits when you get into a debate with them about beating them? We always talk about, well, we ain't no good anyway.
My brother wants to know if
you were favored in that game, sir. Your team was favored, and we bitch slapped them in their place. Stop. Your baseball team 17-0. That's great. What's that? A lot of wins over Tarleton State and fucking Abilene Christian. What?
Yeah, I can't believe that about.
My brother wants to know if you bought your penis pump from Chili Bean.
Where'd you even buy that thing?
I bought it out of the back of a dirty magazine.
So you
maybe it wasn't even a dirty magazine. It may have just been like a regular magazine. Remember this was back in the 90s. I mean, most of those stuff had like ads for like junk and novelties and all that kind of bullshit in the back of them. I just mail ordered it.
So what made you get that? I mean, what made you get that?
I just wanted to see if it worked.
Oh my gosh, man. Gosh.
And it didn't. And I mean, and you couldn't return it because I mean it had been used, obviously. So it couldn't go back. I mean, they didn't have like an Amazon buyback store back then. So
yeah, you definitely couldn't return that thing. You could not return that thing.
Yeah, I mean, Jackpot, you should have taken that thing off and poured some bleach on it and sent it back and got your $20. The damn thing didn't.
You definitely could not return that thing.
I should have. I mean, it's probably like I probably can't find that company anymore now either. Probably out of business.
You don't still have it, do you? We could auction that off.
No,
charity.
I told you I threw it away. I think I probably threw it in the dumpster in those apartments.
Stop throwing away things for the show, Jackpot. You don't care about the show. When you got rid of the Jack Shack.
All right, okay, Rob. We'll go over to the dumpster at the Polo Club in Greenville. I think it's now called Park West or something apartments. It's been remodeled several times since then. Over in the Berea section.
Yeah.
See if you can find the second dumpster from the left and see if you can find that dick pump I threw away in either late 1996 or early 1997. It may still be there.
Brock says sell it on eBay as slightly used.
Yeah, Jeff, I would have never told anyone about that thing. I would have never fessed that up on a live stream.
I mean, why not? I mean, we're transparent here. I like being anti-formulaic. I like,
I've
just
never bought
bringing
a
the
pizza
heat,
pop, but we're transparent here.
bringing the goods.
Jesus.
Rob, you're forgetting you guys. I was saying about what y'all did with XT. Y'all did the same thing in the 80s too. Just remember.
Sure.
Oh, they were cheating all over the place. They didn't hardly
buying
go to a
players'
damn bowl
cars.
game back then.
Well, once again, sir, I'll offer. Look, we'll name the show Schultz 31 if you can show me one real piece of evidence that New Spring Church gave Xavier Thomas money.
No,
We'll
not
name
Xavier Thomas. I'm talking about the 80s.
I don't think New Spring wasn't even there in the 80s. What are you talking?
No, but y'all paid players and got put on. Y'all got a bowl ban.
Everybody doesn't pay players.
Y'all got a bowl ban.
Really?
Yeah, they were on you were on probation for like the first 3. They had some really good teams in the early, like 82,
They
83,
did.
84.
South Carolina had a coach that had the whole team on steroids. He was fucking whores in the shower and died, and they had to drag him out. You really want to run your mouth with me? Come on, brother.
That's kind of disrespectful. I mean, really.
That's what happened.
On a serious level, I mean,
whores in the
penis
shower.
pumps and everything else aside.
He didn't even give it to him.
He used to beat y'all's ass too. So what else?
Okay.
He didn't even give it to them.
All jacked up too.
He didn't even give it to them. He didn't even give it to them.
They didn't give her the dick in the shower, or what? What didn't give them?
No,
what?
he didn't give the players the steroids. He didn't give the players.
No, I mean that stuff. Everybody got a hold of that back then. Yeah. Brian Bosworth stood up for using steroids. He put on some crazy T-shirt that what did it say on it, Rob? Like National Communists Against Athletes or something. You remember that?
Yeah, I do remember.
And everybody thought he was a fucking hero.
Patriot
Joe Morrison does it, and you're the old guy who's fucking somebody in the shower.
Hey, the Patriots was on steroids too, so there's that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that was the Patriot. Did he play for Joe? He did. He did for 1 year or 2 years.
That was
2 years.
They didn't know that he didn't know that he knew about it, but he wasn't giving it to him. He knew they did it right in front of him, but
yeah. Well,
he got him to come back. I heard that on a podcast too. Like the Patriot played in '81 for Jim Carlin, and then he quit football for the '82 season. Like he didn't play, and then Joe Morrison called him and got him to meet him at some restaurant there in Columbia, and he talked him into coming back to school and getting back on the team and stuff.
I don't know this.
He
for
turns
sure,
into an All-American.
I don't know this for sure, but he probably quit because the president fired Carlin.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That might be a true statement there, Schultz.
I always dwelled on that. If we had never fired Carlin, winning head coach, maybe he would have been the best coach we'd ever had. I dwell on that.
Yeah, I think the last game he coached, he lost to Hawaii. So I don't know.
All right. Hey, Schultz, man, thanks for joining the program.
Yeah,
man.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Outlaw says, when I was deployed, everyone was buying fleshlights. My chief couldn't figure out why everyone had a flashlight case laying beside their bed. God damn it. We've got, I watched some of Uncle Lou's stream the other day, and he was talking about endorsements he turned down. I'm thinking we're at the point with our show where the only thing that we can endorse is gambling and, of course, the penis pump. Why not? And then now fleshlights.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everybody needs a fleshlight.
Do you have a fleshlight, Jackpot?
No, I don't. But I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't be up for spending a little bit of money on one. I would not. I wouldn't be opposed to it. I wouldn't be opposed to entertaining the idea.
Brock says, I used to think fleshlight was another term for light skin. Will says, you go 9 months with no puss in the desert. You got to do what you got to do. Look, I'm not judging our troops, man. Do your thing, man. All right. Well, there's that. How far do you think South Carolina's going in the tournament, Jackpot?
Oh, what tournament?
The SEC tournament they play in tomorrow at 3:30. I got them winning 2 games.
I think they're going to win the thing.
You think so?
Well,
whole
I
thing?
mean, we got Arkansas tomorrow. I mean, we should be able to dispose of them. I mean, I think, probably shot their wad tonight. I don't know that they'll be up for the test. And then look at the bracket there. Who can we play likely?
All right, so I got the bracket right here. So you'll have.
Bust out the bracket, baby.
I got it right here. You got. If you beat, well, here's the problem. You beat Arkansas, you got to play the team that beat you by 40.
Who?
Auburn.
Well, they get a double bye.
Auburn was the 4th seed. They got the double bye. So, in theory, you have to beat them. Like, I think you can match up with Tennessee. Hell, you beat them. I think you could beat Kentucky. But Auburn's a horrible matchup, in my opinion. So
does Auburn play 4, though?
Yeah, Auburn will play. You'll play Auburn on Friday if you beat Arkansas tomorrow. So there you go with that. Clemson right now is playing Boston College, and they're losing 22-17.
What's the score?
22-17. Boston College is beating Clemson right now.
Go Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Eagles are running a guy out there with a fucking man bun and a headband. If we lose to that team, Brownell should be fired. Like, if he's wearing his Clemson pullover, he should be literally like Lima did at Arkansas. Take off the shirt. We'll mail you your shit. You lost a man bun with a headband. You cannot come back to campus. So
are you on the fire Brad Brownell train too with the rest of the people?
I've been on the train forever.
I mean, and the guy was 21-10 this year, Rob. I mean, he won 2/3 of his games. So what the fuck do you want from him?
He's got an all ACC center that he is convinced.
Okay, well, I mean, lots of teams have an all conference player at some position. That doesn't mean they're supposed to go out there and be in the top 3 in the country.
I would rather have Kerry Rich coaching the team. Yep, I said that. Just saying. Billy, welcome to the program.
Sure about that.
Hey, just so y'all know, this show has officially gone off the rails.
Well, I'm not sure that it ever was. On them, but
is this Kale's official confessional night?
No, I mean, I don't think that's anything to be ashamed of. I mean, them places do a hell of a business.
Yeah.
And they have sex shops everywhere. I mean, I just happened to order it out of the back of a magazine before the sex shop was a thing.
Yeah.
You did it the old school way because you're an OG jackpot.
That's right.
You went to the back of the nudie mag and got it.
That's exactly.
Back to the Saban thing, I'm still trying to figure out why he was testifying.
You remember back in the day before there was internet porn and stuff? There's even a few of them still around nowadays. You would go into a convenience store, Rob, like the pantry or something, and they'd have a rack over here, and it'd have like 3 or 4 slots in it, and it would have the nudie magazines in it, like the Hustlers or whatever, and it would have like that little piece of black plywood, like covering up all the goodies, and you would like do your best to like have your buddy, get the attention of the Indian guy working the counter, making turn one way or the other, so you could pull the little black plywood out and look at the Hustler magazine. I didn't do that.
I didn't do that. If I wanted one, I'd buy it.
So back to my question: why was Saban testifying before Congress today? What was the purpose of that?
He was invited. That's why he had Ted Cruz sitting next to him. He was invited by some.
Okay, for what?
He's one of the best college football coaches ever. I mean, his opinion,
without a doubt.
Here, that's what they'll tell you. His opinion's valued. I mean, look, Congress brings out celebrities all the time. They had Jelly Roll, the country singer. He was out there testifying about drugs a couple weeks ago, talking about I've dealt drugs and they're bad and don't do drugs. And I see the oxycodone's killing everybody. And
but he did warn us.
Somebody should get Jelly Roll and Chili Bean together.
That'll be a great show. The Jelly Roll and Chili Bean Show.
Saban did warn us a couple years ago about the NIL transfer portal, how it was going to mess things up.
We did. Sweeney said the same
And
thing.
back to Mr. Schultz coming on here complaining about Tennessee fan. Obviously, he didn't read the decision of what that whole case was about. Because a federal judge shut the NCAA down messing with NIL. They were over their heads in the deep end without swimmies. And Tennessee didn't do anything wrong. They had rules for high school kids. They had schools for college kids. They had rules. They just like Saban said, the rules were ambiguous at best. And that's what a federal judge said. So they shut it down. They shut them down. So NCAA is not involved in NIL anymore. You don't like the NCAA. Well, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? And I don't like collectives either. In fact, I'm not for NIL nor the transfer portal. I'm an older guy, old school. You know, if a full scholarship and opportunity to show your talents on the field and get a free education didn't get enough, you know, maybe give them a stipend. But for somebody like Miko Lamaliva getting $8 million coming out of high school, that's BS. That's BS. There's no rhyme or reason for that.
Complain about like, oh, the scholarship's not enough. I've never dealt with fucking student loans, so there's that too.
Let me read Philip's comment again over here. Let's just set ... the record straight ... I graduated from A&M. Okay, apparently I didn't teach it good grammar English composition there. You guys are fans. I am actually a former student. There's a big difference. Of course, you always find a way to twist it. What I mean, this is when you know that someone's let trash talk really hurt their feelings. It's like they're twirling personal insults at people. I mean,
that's like saying,
I mean, if you want me to go back there and dig out my diploma, I mean, I'll be glad to do it.
So that's like Lou saying he can't be fans calling in. Well, you're not a fan. You didn't go to Georgia, so you can't be a fan.
Did you twirl wooden guns when you were there? Did you wear the overall?
Yeah.
Hey, I played at Tennessee Western baseball. We had a couple players on our team that we went to go get something to eat or something. They didn't have money to go to a movie or buy a hamburger. I get it.
Yeah,
millions and a collective.
Hold on just a second. Harry's got a great point. Explain to us, Philip, so that we can understand. Yes, sir. You call in right now, and we'll give you your own thing, and you can explain to us on how, unless you are the 4-year alumni, that you can't be a fan of a team.
So the fact
Will Eubanks says he went to Middle Tennessee and he doesn't give a fuck about Middle Tennessee and anything.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, it's like pulling for East of Badoga Community College.
Big Barney Ross went to East Tennessee State. You don't see him wearing ETSU hat or stuff.
By the way, Big Barney Ross, his
I mean, if I went to East Tennessee State, I honestly would pimp that Bucks gear. Give me some Bucks swag.
Yeah.
You said Bucks, that'd be kind of funny.
Big Barney Ross. I mean, they were the first one. They were the first team in the on the East Coast here. I mean, they actually played football in a dome. Nobody else was playing football and basketball in the same place, and they were playing in a dome.
Who's this?
East Tennessee State.
Oh, okay.
You remember when they had the dome?
God damn it.
The Memorial Center.
Barely.
Yeah. It looked fucking
they lost
weird
their
when they
football
played
program for a couple
in
years.
there too.
They lost their program for a couple of years, and then
they did.
Right. My wife's niece husband played linebacker there for a couple of years until they closed it down.
Hey, y'all want to see Jackpot smile real big? Boston College is blowing out Clemson for real.
What's the score?
29-18, 5 minutes to go in the first half.
Oh, good Lord. I'm not gonna start writing checks right now because I mean, yes, there's that Arkansas thing we saw earlier. So anybody's capable of coming back. How about this, Rob? I fucked up tonight, and I was gonna take Villanova to cover the 24.5 against DePaul. Well, I fucked up and picked DePaul to cover, and DePaul don't ever cover spreads. You always pick against DePaul this year if you want to make some money. Right now, 1:16 left in the first half. DePaul 23, Villanova 21.
All right, let me get off here. Let that Texas A&M guy that went to school there call in and explain to us what he knows more about it than we do. I would love to hear this.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate it,
Later.
Billy.
Later.
All right, Dylan, we're going to welcome you in, then we're going to get out of here. Dylan, welcome to the program, sir. What? I don't hear you, Dylan. Are you there? Yeah. I don't know. Your volume's like way low, buddy. Get closer to your microphone there, buddy. No, sorry, man. You can't. I mean, it's just I can barely hear you, and I know nobody else can. So appreciate you calling in.
Still
But
alive.
yeah, I mean, I could hear him. He was saying, "Can you hear me?" But it was like, ugh.
Jerry Wells said yes. The mini dome. You don't know about the mini dome?
I know. I'm just pissed off about this game. They hit another 3. They're up 14 points, and Brownell's sitting over there looking like he's constipated. It's ridiculous. Terrible.
And now y'all gonna be wanting to fire him again, and then you're gonna turn around and some bitch is gonna beat North Carolina or something.
I wanted him to be fired fucking before this. I'm consistent. He's been terrible for like 2 years in a row. Terrible.
Yeah.
Losing games. Oh, stop it. Just stop it. You know what they need to do? They need to promote Dick Bender. That's their assistant coach.
Well, they beat the Gamecocks.
Georgia did too. So what? It's not so much. I mean, look, you can argue that they had the thing with they beat Alabama too at Alabama.
They beat Alabama. They beat Syracuse on the road and UNC.
Syracuse is shitty.
Well, they turned out to be at the time. It was a decent win, but they lost to fucking Notre Dame, who has a losing record.
Rebounds.
Notre Dame, who has a losing record, and then they lost to Wake. Honestly, they're talking about them being a 5 or 6 seed. I don't see it. I'm not trying to be
like. No, I'm dead serious. If they get a 5 seed, then the tournament's fucked. They're getting blown out by Boston College.
Boston College was playing really good last night. They were hell against whoever they played. Miami. Yeah, Miami.
Jesus. It's like, and see the last play is just frustrating. Why is PJ Hall at the top of the fucking key and taking a instead of getting his big ass in the paint? Why? It's not that complicated. There's the bracketology. Joe Lenardi says they're a 6 seed. Joe Lenardi is on crack. I mean, he really is.
He may be. It's 32-18 BC.
Look at Man Bun out there, just playing with our guards.
Who's Man Bun?
Man Bun with the damn headband.
Oh, he's got at the top of the key.
Yeah, Matson. He's got a man bun.
Oh,
he's
I
out
think
with his headband.
Sweet.
He looks like Jesus if he was in Boston. That's what he looks like.
Maybe he did. He might have came for the Tea Party and stayed around.
Yeah, that's a good point, sir.
Damn, that was a long ass 3. There was no need. Why? Some of these guys are just throwing up. Some of it's ridiculous. I saw it in the I've seen it in the Gamecocks games a lot from Michi Johnson. They just throw up fucking long ass 3s. Or some utter miracle if they go in. And they're just throwing it up like, well, we just got a million shots to fucking give,
That's true. I don't know. I got nothing. I think Clemson, I was thinking they might win 2 games in the tournament because if you look at the ACC bracket, they've got, let's see here, Clemson would play Virginia, a team that they only lost to by a point before they would square off with Duke, another team they played well against. And then the top half of the bracket, they beat North Carolina. They beat Pittsburgh. But you start looking ahead like that, and you're like, oh no, they're losing by 14 to Boston College. It's a fucking shame.
It's maddening, sir. It's maddening. I know.
Anyway, so you got the Gamecocks winning the SEC tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any reason to think they shouldn't.
Okay, well, you're more confident than I am.
Okay.
Well, all right. Well, we'll be back at it on Sunday.
When it happens, we'll be here Sunday afternoon. I'll be all about it when it happens.
I will cut out the part where you said they're going to win, and we'll replay it back. We'll call you Kale the Genius.
I want Philip McCrevis calling in on Sunday also too, telling us about how you can only be a fan if you graduated from a particular institution, especially if you went there and twirled a wooden gun.
What's worse, twirling a wooden gun or buying a penis pump?
It depends.
All right, well, there you go.
Probably twirling a wooden gun because it's not original. I bought the penis pump because I actually wanted to know the answer to something. I wanted to find out if it worked, so I could tell other people.
You were doing a science experiment,
right? I was going to spread it by word of mouth too, not the penis, not the pump itself, but I was going to the benefits of the pump by word of mouth because back then there was no social media.
Right, but I mean, if it were today and you bought the penis pump, you might find that on the Rockabilly 864 channel, Jackpot's review of the penis pump.
Exactly. I mean, I reviewed a grill. Why not review a penis pump? Penis pumps, grills, hamburgers, hot dogs. I mean, it's all the same thing.
Brock says at least the penis pump has a useful purpose. It didn't work, sir. Just saying. Didn't work. It's what he said. I don't know. Let's see here. Philip says you wouldn't be free if it wasn't for the military. Bad take. It's not a joke. Exposes your ignorance.
Well, I mean, Texas A&M is not the military. It's a military school.
They're twirling fake guns, sir. The military that I support.
It's a military school. I went to the Citadel also. And it wasn't in the military.
What a mess.
It's just a military style education, military style structure.
I think we end the show on that. Anyway, we'll be back at it on Sunday. We'll get our first look at the bracket, see where Clemson will fall.
Thomas Felkel says in the P funnel, the Shane Beamer thing, the Shiwi.
The Shiwi.
Yeah, we haven't talked about that in a while. That's something you could actually, I mean, nowadays you could actually order that today on damn Amazon Prime or something and probably have it here in a couple of days. It wasn't like back when I had to go get my $20 and whatever. I had to go up to the Speedway or whatever it was, get a money order, fill it out to the penis pump company, the novelty company, get a stamp, put it in an envelope, mail it off. You had to cut the ad probably out of the back of the magazine and put the little check mark by what you actually wanted and mail it in. And then, it's like a month later, 4 to 6 weeks later, and here comes your penis pump. The UPS guys bringing it.
I got nothing for you, Jackpot. Not a damn thing on that. Anyway.
Neither the penis pump didn't have anything for me either.
Yeah, I didn't do anything for you.
Both of you are bastards.
With that, we'll end the show. You guys have a great night.
All right.